days.
How's that grab ya? Better get to Bexley, where Woody Folsom Ford is lighting up the phones, the internet, and trade-in-minded drivers. 0% financing for 84 months on 19 F-150.
We're saving you major money by giving you 0% for 84 months and no payments for 120 days. Free lifetime powertrain warranty, too. We care about you, and we appreciate you.
Over 120 19 F-150s in stock. Flying out of here at 0% for 84 months.
And no payment for 120 days.
Click us at WoodyFolsomFord.com. Thanks to you, proud and appreciative winner of yet another President's Award from Ford. 19 Ford F-150, world's best-selling truck. 0% for 84 months.
And no payment for 120 days.
Better get to Bexley and see about this thing. See dealer for details.
Celebrating 50 years as the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
WIFO-FM, Jessup.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A minute of silence is observed in Italy to honor victims of the new coronavirus. 11,500 people have died there. It's more than 3,000 here now. Delivery of a new, faster COVID-19 test is due to start today.
Just like tests for flu or strep, where you go to the doctors, you get the test done, you can get an answer within minutes of having this test done.
That's FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn. Confirmed cases worldwide have passed 800,000. The Trump administration is expected to announce today the rolling back of President Obama's mileage and emissions standards for new vehicles.
The administration says the looser mileage standards will let consumers keep on buying less fuel-efficient SUVs. Opponents say it'll kill several hundred more Americans a year due to dirtier air. Some automakers like Ford and Honda have been working towards the Obama-era goal of more fuel-efficient cars.
That's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
We know that we're asking Americans to do a lot right now. So we're asking everyone to be selfless for others so that we can protect those who are most susceptible to this virus.
A question I often get asked is, why should young people care about the spread of coronavirus? Well, we know that people with underlying medical conditions over the age of 60 are at highest risk, but they've got to get it from somebody.
Social distancing is really physical separation of people.
It's what we refer to when we ask people to stay at least 6 feet apart.
Not going to bars, not going to restaurants, not going to theaters where there are a lot of people. It all just means physical separation so that you have a space between you and others who might actually be infected or infect you.
We all have a role to play in preventing person-to-person spread of this disease, which can be deadly for vulnerable groups. For more information on how you can social distance, please go to coronavirus.gov.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
For the best car wash at the best price, then go to the new Nips Car Wash, located at 459 Highway 301 South, down from McDonald's in Jessup. Nips Car Wash features state-of-the-art IQ automatic car wash system. Every car or truck that enters the automatic IQ wash system is scanned to capture its unique vehicle profile to give you a great car wash every time. Nips Car Wash also features 2 self-service bays where you can choose from a variety of accessories such as foam brush, tire brush, bug off, wax, clear coat, and spot-free rinse with powerful blowers located in each bay to top off your car wash experience at an affordable price. For the best quality car wash around, go to the new Nips Car Wash located down from McDonald's on the left on Highway 301 South in Jessup. That's Nips Car Wash with a state-of-the-art IQ automatic wash system on Highway 301 South down from McDonald's in Jessup.
8 o'clock here at WIFO-FM, Big Dog Country, world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply and Nips Car Wash. Senator Tillery did call in, and he was going to check back in with us once the session starts back up to finish things out, because we're waiting on Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan to call in this morning, see what he has to say.
Yeah, he's scheduled to call in, so hopefully he will.
All right, 8:01 here at WYFO-FM. You got some things we want to cover here while we're waiting on?
No, I just got my questions for...
I think we have another guest out there. That's what that doorbell is this morning. So why don't we take a break here on WYFO-FM, come back with more of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in just a minute here on FM 105.5. Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
And then along came Walker Jones.
Price, service, selection. There are a lot of reasons to choose Walker Jones Toyota when shopping for a new Toyota. But to us, there's one important part of the deal that stands out. It's taking care of you like good friends and neighbors should. That means using our expertise to look out for you, your needs, your concerns, your budget. And don't forget to ask about Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event going on right now with rates as low as 0% and APR bonus cash on select models. Where taking care of you like good friends and neighbors should is the most important part of the deal. Walker Jones Toyota, home of the lifetime warranty on Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at walkerjonestoyota.com.
Get the best deal from Walker Jones.
Offer with approved credit on select 2020 Camry. Not all vehicles qualify for APR bonus cash. Plus TAVT, tag Georgia Lemon Law and excludes $599 dealer fee. Ends 3/31/2020.
WIFO-FM at 8:03, waiting on Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan to call, and we've got guests here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show because it is Census 2020. Life has to go on, Bob.
Yes, it does. They're in, so we'll turn it over to them until Jeff Duncan calls.
All right, let's go.
Didn't have my mic fixed. Good morning.
Buenos días.
I'm Sharon Corson, and this is Jose Roman.
Esta es la señora Sharon y este es el señor José Román interpretando para este día.
And we just wanted to remind everybody, this is a time when everybody's at home anyway. If you would
tratar de, ¿verdad?, expresar a cada una de las personas y sabemos que están en sus casas.
Take a little time to go ahead and fill out that census. It's very quick and easy this year.
Para decirle a cada uno de ustedes que tomen su tiempo para llenar sus censos.
You can go to My Census.
Usted puede ir a la página de
2020.gov.
Or
there's several different phone numbers that you can
teléfonos
look at.
Variados de la cual usted puede buscar también en internet.
I'm pulling those up now. And we've had a good response in Wayne County. It's been about 32% so far. So the state average, the last time I got any kind of information on that, was like 26.1. So we're ahead of the average. And they have just issued a new challenge. It's called challenge.gov. It's on the Wayne Census Facebook page. And they are going to allow individuals or teams to make up a video about the census. And I'm trying to give you, I'll try to give you a little bit of the, if you click on the Wayne Census Facebook page, you can see all of the rules, but there's several different elements that they want you to get in there, but there are some substantial prizes that go along with this. The grand prize is $30,000, $10,000 for a runner-up, and $10,000 for a student prize. And it's making a video. It has to be 30 seconds to 3 minutes in length. And it will be compatible with the YouTube format. So I think it's just kind of one of those things they're doing to try to encourage people to get involved and fill out their census this year. Again, some of the things we mentioned last time were how safe it is. Your information is going to be secure for 72 years. The only people that will be able to access that is the census. I'm trying to find some phone numbers. This year you can call in. You can go online. You should have already gotten something in the mail, and it has a little code that you can put with it. And it assures that the location that your house is in is the same as what they have. So it kind of matches you up by their format. Got any questions?
The people that fill out the census, why they need this information.
Okay. Well, our county gets our funding from the government. There's $675 billion that's allocated by the census numbers, and we get it because of our numbers with the census. So if everyone gets counted, then that's more funding for us. Our representatives get allocated by our numbers also. So
fills it out and who doesn't fill it out? I mean, when it's all said and done.
The Census Bureau goes about 6 months. They work on it, trying to match up and get rid of any duplications, and they have a process that they go through afterwards to try to make sure that every household's counted, but also only once. So.
And everybody's got this in the mail, right?
Mm-hmm. Should have gotten several copies. I've gotten 2 myself. And the mailer should be, I think there's one more that's still going to go out.
Well, they sent me one in the mail. I filled it out, and they kept calling me like 4 times a day saying I didn't fill it out. I kept telling them I didn't fill it out, so they were driving me crazy last week. I finally convinced them that I did fill it out. So I don't know if anybody's had that issue.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any phone calls.
And it comes up on the phone as spam risk. I don't know what that means.
I don't know that that's...
What is that about?
I don't know that that's actually the census been calling you, because the only schedule we had was mail-outs, and then on April 20th through the 27th, they're supposed to send a final reminder postcard before they follow up in person. So I think you might have been spammed for real, Bob.
They didn't get any information. I just argued with them and told them I filled it out. So, I mean, they didn't ask any information. So
that's one of the big reasons why we're trying to get everybody to do it online, is just go ahead and get it over with. You don't have anybody, once it's done, you're done.
Right.
Nobody's going to show up at your house, especially right now with social distancing. Nobody wants anybody coming to their house for sure.
And if people just join us, explain the interpreter, so people they're probably confused what's going on.
So we have Jose Roman with us today, and we're trying to make sure that everybody in our community understands the importance of the census and how they can accomplish it. So Jose is here to kind of to interpret for me so that he can get across the message to.
Anybody questioning? Any questions?
Not on that. No. Why don't we let Jose just go over the information quickly in Spanish in the clear, because you're talking and he's behind you, and I'm sure the Spanish speakers can understand when I can separate them, but let him go ahead and give out the information that when you do.
Y nos dé una explicación. Muy buenos días a cada uno de ustedes que se encuentra escuchando a lo largo y a lo ancho de estas cadenas radiales. Mi nombre es José Román, soy una nueva persona que ha llegado aquí a este lugar. Tengo el privilegio de ser intérprete para esta información tan importante que se está circulando en estos momentos. Es sobre el census. Para aquellas personas que nos están escuchando, queremos informarle que el census es una parte muy vital, muy importante, porque debido a la información que nosotros le proveemos al gobierno de Georgia, va a depender también la respuesta en cuestión a finanzas. Algo que nosotros debemos de entender es que esto del censo no es solamente para personas que sean legales, sino también para personas que quizás no tengan los mismos derechos que tenemos nosotros, algunos ciudadanos americanos. Es muy importante que si usted recibe por el correo alguna información que dice Census 2020, que usted llene esa información. Solamente le están pidiendo cuántas personas viven y cuál es el lugar, no exactamente la dirección exacta, pero sí es para saber más o menos la población. Si usted no ha recibido nada por correo, le queremos pedir que si usted puede meterse a la página web donde dice Census 2020, y ahí usted puede escribir. También hay algunos teléfonos que por el mismo internet se llama waynecounty.gov, y ahí entonces usted puede llenar. Si usted tiene cuenta Facebook, usted búsquese Wayne Census, que es WAYNE Census, CENSUS. Puede encontrarlo en la página de Facebook. Y eso es más o menos un resumen de lo que estamos interpretando a cada una de estas personas. Si usted tiene alguna pregunta, what's the phone number here if they wanted to call or ask questions?
912-427-3711.
El teléfono es 912-427 y what's the next four? 37. There you go. So 3711. Muchas gracias por su atención y se la dejamos a Sharon.
Okay. Well, I think that's really all we've got. The biggest thing was getting out this information about this new contest they're doing, so to give somebody, it can be a fun thing to do while everybody's cooped up right now. Create a video and possibly win some money doing it, and help out the community by showing what we're doing right now.
Okay, appreciate y'all coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Muchas gracias. Nos vemos.
We'll be back with more after this.
Danny Merritt here, co-founder of Nine Line Apparel and proud Republican candidate for United States Congress. I'm a pro-Trump, pro-life, pro-gun, common-sense conservative looking to represent you all here in Georgia's 1st District. I'm an 18-year combat veteran with 2 deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, still serving today as a major in the United States Army Reserve. Buddy Carter is a career politician who has been in politics for 20 years. He's part of the problem, not the solution. Vote Merritt for Congress on May 19th. Visit meritforcongress.com.
Paid for by Merit for Congress, Inc.
Southern Ionics Minerals is now part of the Chemours Company. Southern Ionics Minerals is now hiring in their new Jessup mining facility and their Mission mine facility in Nahunta. They have immediate openings for several positions, including field crew operators, heavy equipment operators, plant operators, and many others. The Chemours Company offers great benefits starting day one and competitive pay. Check out their website for employment opportunities. Go to Chemours.com/careers. That's CHEMOURS.com/careers.
WIFO-FM Big Dog Country at 8:15. We've got Senator Blake Tillery on the phone this morning.
Yes, Tuesdays with Tillery again. Lieutenant Governor set for Thursday of this week, so we apologize for that. But Blake, appreciate you calling back again. Just want to get your thoughts on what's taking place statewide. The governor's pushed the schools closed till April 24th, but the president on Sunday said everything's shut down until the 30th. So are we going to see the governor go along with the president's recommendation, or what are we going to do?
Well, push it out on schools. Sorry, can you hear me?
I'm having trouble hearing him.
Okay, I can hear you pretty good.
Hang on, let's try that. See what's going on there. Let's try this again.
Okay, you there, Blake?
I'm there, yes, sir.
Okay,
I heard you. Probably the best I've heard you all year.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Let me repeat the question again. The governor has the schools closed to the 24th, but the president on Sunday said the social distance will go till April 30th. So do you see the governor changing the date here in the state of Georgia?
I think the governor is going to be prudent like he has before. He's going to watch and see how things change over the next few weeks before making that decision. I know a lot of our school superintendents are internally already evaluating whether or not school goes back at all, and they're probably right to be evaluating that.
The confusion is everybody's getting different directions from different people. There's not one person, running this show. So, and every time you turn around and watch somebody on TV, they've got different dates when the peak's going to hit. I mean, we can't get any consistency from anybody on what's taking place. And how bad this is going to be in the state of Georgia.
Right, we're all making predictions, so we're going to have that every time. And we know what some of the facts are right now, though. We know that we have 3,032 cases in Georgia. We know that that's jumped substantially from last week when you and I talked then. We know that there have been exactly now 102 deaths. So our death percentage is still roughly 3%. We know that 25% of the folks who are infected are going to need hospitalization. So the question is how many more people become infected. I've been a little bit pleasantly surprised at how social distancing has worked. I've seen folks in our area. You remember, I just came off of quarantine yesterday. So for the first time last night, I went out running and just kind of on the sidewalk, keeping 6 feet away from everyone. If someone was on one side of the road, I crossed to the other. And saw how folks really are taking this to heart. And I think that's one of the reasons why you've not seen a turn in the curve yet as to cases. I think cases are going to continue to increase as we've talked about before as more testing goes out. Remember now we've tested something around 13,000. 13,000 I think have been tested now. Tests rolling out continuously, and it's got to be more than that because of just the total number of cases. So I think the governor's going to continue to take a slow step to make sure that we're not doing that we can return to work when necessary, but at the same time that folks are safe when they do. I wish I knew when that date was going to be. You saw some of the other orders he's rolled out recently. We had some calls from some constituents actually from our area called me and others about things they were seeing at state parks, at lakes, etc., with younger folks congregating, and you saw the governor's reaction there, putting a DNR, Commissioner Williams, in charge of making sure that those groups don't gather within 6 feet of each other. They disperse to keep folks safe. It's hard to not want to enjoy this beautiful weather that we've had until today, but it's not safe to do so.
Like you, I think the social distancing has definitely helped. But what would you say to people that are not adhering to that? You still see gatherings of people more than 10 at places. You see other people just not paying attention to the guidelines. What kind of warning would you give to those people not paying attention to the guidelines?
Well, I think my wife, Dr. Tillery, did the best job I've heard so far of explaining why that's important and how social distancing works. Social distancing, she said, is not to protect yourself. It's not to keep you from getting the disease. It's to keep you from giving the disease to others. So the way you're actually supposed to act in that instance is that you are already infected. Now, we hope you're not. Most of you aren't. But you're acting as though you're already infected, so you're not giving it to your grandparent or to your small child or to your neighbor who's battling an underlying condition, whether it be COPD or it be cancer, etc. I think now's a good time also to point out, of those 102 deaths we've had in Georgia, the vast majority had an underlying condition. That means asthma, COPD, where their immune system was slightly reduced because they were fighting cancer, something else already. So those folks, particularly, we need to protect them, and we all have a responsibility to do that. That's why the social distancing matters. It's not to protect you, it's so that you are protecting others.
The governor spoke last Thursday. We carried that address. He said that he's trying to balance the entire state of Georgia. He can't, worry about one area, but he still continues to get criticized by a lot of people. I guess he has thick skin, but your thoughts on the armchair quarterbacking that's going on, not only here in the state of Georgia, but across the nation?
We see that a lot. In everything that you do in government, and it's easy to criticize from the backside. I'll tell you that at least in our district, the district that I have the pleasure of representing because of you guys, 11 counties, until last night, 7 of them still had 0 cases. Now that's changed today. You've seen cases now pop up in Jeff Davis and Appling County. Still, as of 7 p.m. last night, I believe Wayne was clear, and Trutland, that I also represent, was clear. But that's kind of letting you know as this disease moves. It started more in the metro areas. You had a breakout area that you saw in Rome. You had a breakout area that you saw in Albany. I'm a little concerned that we may soon see a breakout area just south of us. You've seen the state of Florida do its quarantine. Quarantine's not the right word, but how they've taken and turned away folks who are from infected areas at the border. Well, when they turn those folks away at the border, they're not turning around and driving straight back north, they're going to have to find a place to stay for the night. And that makes me, the state of Georgia's got its eyes on Camden, where Brantley, McIntosh, et cetera, Glenn counties, just keeping our eye down there, because those folks are going to have to spend the night somewhere. We can't make them sleep in tents, and we're not going to. So that's the next area I'm really looking at. There's one other thing I want to point out to you, to our listeners here. Two things going on at the federal level that I want to make sure they're aware of. One is the SBA loans. You know, there's a lot coming out through the federal package that just rolled out now. Paycheck Protection Program, essentially it's 100% federally guaranteed loans to small businesses. And those loans can be forgiven if you restore your payroll after the crisis, maintain your payroll during the crisis, and then also for certain purchases during the first 8 weeks after you receive the funds. The federal government's also rolled out this economic injury disaster loan program. It's up to $2 million for small businesses at 3.5% for a small business and 2.75% for nonprofits for up to 30 years. The federal government is really trying to make sure that the cash does not dry up like we saw happen in the financial crisis. On top of that, we've also got our state programs with unemployment, state unemployment. The feds are doing some stuff there. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but the thing I want to remind our listeners is that employers bear the responsibility for filing for their employees during this corona-related emergency. The reason the state did that, the reason they put that burden back on employers, is because the usual process is employees going down to career centers. The career centers are closed, so we don't want folks gathering there. So the state they turned that burden back on employers, but they said if your employees are due unemployment because of reduced hours, because of layoffs, et cetera, due to corona, that we're not going to impact your experience ratio. In other words, we're not going to put this on the back of the employers that are having to do this because of corona. So make sure that folks see those things. If you need more details about it, they're on my Senate website, BlakeTillery.com. You can see the press release we did about it yesterday. And if folks have questions, they're welcome to call me too, and I'll try my best to walk them through it. I'm not an expert on the federal stuff, but I'll try to point them in that direction.
Another story that hit yesterday, the Speaker of the House is encouraging and trying to ask that the elections be pushed back to June, but the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, is stuck with the May 19th date. Your thoughts on that? Any thoughts on should it be delayed or should it stay where it's at?
Yeah, we always want to protect people as much as possible. But I have some real concerns that if we start moving election dates further than what we already were able to do, that we set up a precedent for the future that's not safe. Folks expect their government to be changed out every 2 years, at least at the state level, for most state offices, and then in Congress as well. So I get a little concerned when folks start pushing election dates that maybe later on that's something that we will wish that's a precedent that we didn't set.
How well do you know Dr. Carlos Del Rio from Emory?
I don't. I've read his reports and reading others, Dr. Watson that we have out of Savannah and several others.
Who do we believe? They said when New York's been hit the hardest. When you see the governor's daily briefings, he keeps warning everybody that what's taking place in New York is going to take place all across the country, and then others say no, he's not. I don't. Where do you stand on that? Who are you listening to? Where do you take your advice from? Do you listen to the doctors? Do you listen to who are we supposed to listen to and get our correct information from?
Well, I know at the state level we're listening to Dr. Toomey, who's been in this position for years. So that's who we're taking most of our guidance from. I appreciate Dr. Fauci and what he's doing in D.C. as well. He seems to be a guy who understands the numbers and is guided by facts. The expansion, remember, as you talk about things in New York, et cetera, the equipment that they're asking for, I was very pleased to see our private sector jump into work. I was watching a little clip this morning of a Ford factory that's now building face shields and employees that are back doing that. Remember that a lot of the items that other states are asking for right now is in preparation of that surge. They're looking at that surge number of where they think they're going to get. So while they may need and I'm making up numbers. I'm going to use really small ones right now so folks know that this is not the numbers that I think folks will need. But while they may need 2 ventilators now, they're asking for 20 because they see that they've looked at these numbers and see that surge coming. It's going to take us time to ramp up to have 20. You don't need 20 now. You need 20 as that ramp is continuing. So that's why I think you've seen the president push on private industry to, hey, we need you to build these ventilators. We need these face shields, et cetera. At the same time, what we don't need to do is we don't need to send 20 ventilators to you now when other places need 4 right this minute. We need to get those out where they're needed. Currently, we're not going to be ready for the surge capacity until the surge capacity is there. That's why you're hearing this flattening of the curve. The flattening of the curve does prevent some people from getting the disease. But if you look at the graph of that curve, and this is the thing that Emory and others have talked about, is you still have a lot of people that get infected, but they get infected over a longer period of time. And why does that matter? It matters because you never reach surge capacity. So you're having people come off ventilators as new people go on. It makes the time period of the disease, of the virus, last longer, but you never reach, you never go over your surge capacity.
If you're just joining us, Blake Tillery on the radio station with us, Tuesdays with Tillery. Just concentrate on your district alone. Do they have enough tests in your district? You know, you keep hearing that the reason the numbers aren't where they should be is because people don't have the test available. In your district alone, are you hearing from medical people saying they have enough tests?
I haven't heard about not having enough tests, I'll put it that way. What I've had more concerns and questions about is hand sanitizers, personal protective equipment, and we've been able to really direct them with how to request that. The state has a program that I'm not going to bore our listeners with, but we took about 60 days ago and had rolled out a new program already where all requests for personal protective equipment, land, anything you would have needed in an emergency goes through a central portal with the Georgia Emergency Management System, and helping our folks understand how to request through that. And once we were able to do that, I think we were able to settle most of the needs for equipment and items like that. And if there are others, please let me know. We've been very successful with turnaround because of Commissioner Homer Bryson and others who really understand our area. They're good friends with commissioners like Mark Williams, and that helps. Relationships help during this time.
Any idea when the legislative session returns?
That's a great question. Started hearing rumblings about April 15th and what might go on there if we're needed to come back in to continue the governor's state of emergency. I don't think we're going to be ready for a budget then. As you've seen, we predict there could be as high as 20 to 30% unemployment. We think that there could be a budget also. The budget could be off as much as 20%. So I think you'll see a budget session that's a little bit later on, maybe a May, June session. We're in great hands with Jack Hill there. He's from Reedsville. He understands our area, and he's been the budget chair since 2003. So he gets it. He understands that he's been through a recession before. So what am I doing during this time? I'm just making sure that Jack Hill has all the information he needs about our district, and he lives here, so he does understand it.
The governor, as we said, had the state address Thursday. A lot of people thought that information was very valuable. Do you think we'll have another one in the near future, or have you heard anything about that?
I hadn't heard anything more about whether that continues or not. I thought it was Governor Kemp in his element, in his best element, talking to people and talking to them directly. He's always been a very straightforward guy. That's why I think the folks down in Wayne County get along with him so well. I agree with you. I think it was successful. Haven't heard whether or not it's going to happen again.
Okay, Blake, again, we appreciate you calling in. Again, if you see the Lieutenant Governor, tell him we'll be looking forward to hearing from him on Thursday. And
he actually just called me during this time and texted me and said, I have on my calendar that I'm on there on Thursday, so he's looking forward to joining you guys then. Y'all give him a rough time for me.
No, like I said, tell him we're enjoying his son's little video thing. Have you seen that yet?
I'll let him know.
Yeah, you seen that last night? That was his first episode. What do they call it? Let me get the thing up here. got it here quickly. Trying to think what the name of it is. It's I got it right here. It's let's see. It's Getting Real with Ryder. His son Ryder does a little video thing about what's taking place to his household. Have you seen that yet?
I saw last night. It came up on something else I was looking at. It was actually the only sports on TV last night, wasn't it?
Episode
him and his
1.
brother playing basketball.
Called Getting Real with Ryder. Looks like they got a nice. looks like they got a nice basement there. I mean, they have a basketball.
Kind of a man cave.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yes, it looked like he had pictures of his dad when he played ball around the wall there.
Yeah, Ryder looked like a little young Marv Alpert there with his suit and tie on. He looked pretty good. So, but anyway, I look forward to talking to the Lieutenant Governor about that. Hopefully there'll be some more of those series. But again, Blake, appreciate you calling in on Tuesday.
Yes,
again,
thanks. I want to
safe.
echo one last thing. The folks earlier talking about the census. That is so vitally important. While you're stuck at home right now, please fill that thing out. It's roughly $2,300 for every returned census to Wayne County. So that's a big deal.
Okay. We appreciate it very much, Blake. Stay safe.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
See you. Okay, that's going to do it for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show on a Tuesday. Again, we'll have the Lieutenant Governor on Thursday. Still have Toby Cameron set for Friday. So we'll see you tomorrow.
WIFO-FM 832 world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply and by Nips Car Wash.
Advance Healthcare Center on South 1st Street in Jessup is your one-stop health shop for most all your healthcare needs. They offer same-day appointments, and walk-ins are welcome for medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, and massage therapy care for immediate treatment and pain relief for injuries and illnesses of all conditions. Advance Healthcare specializes in the treatment of spinal and joint pains, headaches, neurological and muscle conditions, and family medical needs. Advance Healthcare accepts and files most major